Our top focus today, UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson, who is on a landmark two-day visit in India, received a ceremonial welcome at the President's house today. He was received by Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and External Affairs Minister Dr S Jaishankar. Speaking at Rashtrapati Bhavan, Boris thanked the Prime Minister for a fantastic welcome and hailed the partnership between the two countries.
Prime Minister Modi, and thank you for the fantastic welcome that you've given us, Narendra. This is, I think, a very auspicious moment in a relationship and a friendship between two democracies, the world's largest democracy in India, the UK, one of the world's oldest democracies, and I don't think that things have ever been as strong or as good between us as they are now.
Now, Johnson then paid tribute to Mahatma Gandhi at Rajghat. Ahead of the bilateral with Prime Minister Modi, Boris Johnson tweeted that he looked forward to the meeting today and that the partnership of the two democracies remains vital on a number of issues like climate change and defence. Today's key meeting between the leaders will see a greater push for stronger defence, security and trade ties. Johnson has said that he is hopeful that India and the UK will sign the free trade agreement currently under negotiations by the end of this year. Negotiating teams will hold their third round of formal talks in India next week and the need to remain focused on the Indo-Pacific despite turbulence in Europe. Also on the agenda, Russia's actions in Ukraine. Now, for more on this, our principal diplomatic correspondent Siddhant Sibal is joining us live. Siddhant, thank you for joining us. What can you tell us about day 2 of Prime Minister Boris Johnson's visit and all the bilaterals that are scheduled for today?
Well, the two key focus areas when both the Prime Ministers, the UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson and the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi sit together at Hyderabad House at around 11:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time. That's just a few hours from now. The focus will be on two key areas, that's defense and trade. We have been talking about trade, about the free trade agreement. 2 rounds have happened. The third round will happen next week. And India is keen that there is relaxation on visa regime for Indian students. UK has said that it's keen to get more skilled Indian workers to the country in a post-Brexit world. But what is something that is another big news coming is that the UK Prime Minister's office has just said that defence will be an important point of conversation, and UK will offer technology when it comes to fighter jets to India. Now, that is very significant. It comes at a time when we know that India is dependent on Russia for defense. In fact, defense forms an important pillar of partnership between New Delhi and Moscow. And now London proposing this offer is something that will help India diversify. And India has its own Atmanirbhar Bharat project that is self-sufficiency in terms of defense, which is going forward, and it will see a major booster. We can expect some kind of announcement later today when the joint the press statement will take place at Hyderabad House at around 1 p.m. Indian Standard Time. But he also faces a lot of questions at a time when we know that back home he faces a lot of domestic pressure in the backdrop of the Partygate scandal.
All right, Siddhant, when we talk about defense, when we talk about the Russia-Ukraine conflict and green energy, what are the sort of developments that we are expecting on that front?
Well, the Russian invasion of Ukraine is something that has been the top focus areas in major global capitals, in every capital of Europe. And UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson is the first European leader to visit Delhi since that invasion. So he is going to talk about that, but as the British government has been saying that they are not going to lecture New Delhi on that. They will be sharing their perspective and hear what New Delhi has to say. And we know that India has been continuing with stance of balancing things out, whether it's between Moscow or Washington or, of course, its partners in Europe. But nonetheless, when it comes to, as you pointed out, green technology and energy, this is something that has been an ongoing process with not only London but with other European capitals as well, even as Europe has been keen that it make sure that its energy needs are fulfilled by green energy, and also this reduces dependency on Russian energy. So there are ongoing partnerships, and we can of course see more announcements later in the day today.
Right. Also, Siddhant, an important point here on that note, Johnson has said that he is hopeful that India and UK will sign the free trade agreement currently under negotiations. So what are the developments on that?
Well, he said in Gujarat yesterday that the free trade agreement will be signed, or he's hopeful that it will be signed by autumn. Now, we know that UK needs India more than India needs in a post-Brexit world, and UK is trying to find trading partners, and India fits the bill in terms of a large economy, in terms of shared values, democracy, and so far 2 rounds of free trade agreement. The negotiations have happened. The third round will happen next week. I know there are a lot of issues yet to be resolved, including, of course, the visa issue, as we have been talking about. India is keen that there is relaxation of visa regime for Indians, so that more and more Indians can go to UK for education and employment. So that remains a key focus area for New Delhi. And as we know, that UK Prime Minister has said that there could be certain relaxation, and it is largely a win-win for both London and New Delhi, given that UK needs more skilled Indian workers that can help drive the economy.
All right, Siddhant, thank you so much for all the updates on this. We will, of course, continue to track this through the day. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.